up, guys? It's Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this all-new 2022 Kia Telluride LX. All right, before we start, I just want to give a huge thanks to Wise and the rest of the management and staff here at Regal Kia in Lakeland, Florida for making this review possible. If you're looking for a new car in the Florida area, I would definitely suggest checking these guys out. So for those of you guys who don't know, Kia released a concept prototype for the Telluride back in 2016, and it really took the world by storm because you never thought of Kia as a manufacturer that would be producing a premium three-row luxury SUV, but this is exactly what we have here for the 2022 Kia Telluride. The first production year of the Telluride was 2020. We have a couple of updates here, starting with the Kia badge, of course, and the larger Telluride nameplates. But as far as exterior styling, let's jump right in. So the color we have here is going to be called Everlasting Silver. It's going to be a really beautiful silver metallic. I'm not sure if you can pick it up in the sun, but it looks really, really nice. Down here, you're going to have your fully LED headlights, low beam and high beam with LED daytime running strip on the outside. We'll check it out once we start this car up. They look really, really good. I'm a big fan. Back here, you're going to see your Telluride nameplate. You got some chrome trim. It's not smoked chrome like it was on the S trim. I do prefer that, but this still looks pretty good. Down here, you're going to have your Kia badge. It's not going to be as chrome shiny as it is up here. It's going to be more of a brushed aluminum look. Definitely like the way this new badge looks. As far as the grille, love the black grille. I just wish it was a little bit more functional. These areas over here are completely solid. They're not going to have any airflow, but down here, for the panel down here, you're going to have a pretty decent amount of overall airflow for your radiator. But down here, you're going to have additional airflow right here too. So as far as cooling and airflow, you shouldn't have any issues. But let's take a step back one more time and let's go ahead and check out this wheel and tire setup. And before we do that, you do have an air curtain right here, which is going to help your overall aerodynamics. But for the wheel and tire setup, here you have your 18-inch rims. The S trim that we reviewed had 20-inch rims, so these are going to be a little bit smaller, but the tires sidewall is going to be a little bit thicker, so it's going to offset. You're going to have a little bit softer ride quality, I would assume, with these thicker tires, but the overall look isn't quite as premium as you get on the S trim. But if you're going to prioritize ride quality, I guess I would definitely recommend going with this trim simply for these tires. But these are going to be 245/60 R18s. The S model that we reviewed had 245/50 R20s. These are going to be wrapped in Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tires. Pretty good all-season tire setup, one of the better ones in the business. It's good for all conditions, off-roading, on-roading, very quiet on the street, very capable off-road. Up top over here, you're going to have a little bit of black plastic. That's going to be to protect your paint from rock chips when you are off-roading. But let's walk over here. You are going to have an LED strip for your mirror. This is going to be your turn signal right here, LEDs. As far as the glass itself, very large. It fills up the frame really well. You're going to have blind spot monitoring, and it's a heated mirror. It's also a two-tone contrast. You can pick it up here, how it's black here, and body color with this everlasting silver metallic. Really beautiful color. Down here, this is going to be more of a shiny chrome. If you checked out the S video that we reviewed of the S trim, this is more of a brushed aluminum smoked chrome, but here it's going to be more of a shiny reflective chrome. Not a big deal. With the tinted windows, it does look pretty decent, and with the silver exterior color, it does actually match not too badly. But I do still wish it was a smoke chrome material, but for a chrome trim with this color scheme, it definitely still works. But down here, you can check out that you do have smart access for the driver and the front passenger. That is nice for your base trim. But let's take a look at this window sticker. So you guys can pause, check out all the standard equipment right here, and you do have one option. You're gonna have $210 carpeted floor mats. But as far as standard equipment, you're gonna of course have your 3.8 liter gas direct injection V6 engine. It's gonna make 291 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this SUV to 60 in under 7 seconds with this 8-speed auto transmission and around the 4,100 pound curb weight. You're gonna have drive mode select. You're gonna have all these advanced safety features: forward collision alert, blind spot collision, rear cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, lane following assist, collision avoidance assist, safe exit assist, and highway driving assist. A lot of assists. Smart cruise control with stop and go, parking distance warning only for reverse, no front sensing sensors. But as far as safety, you guys can take a pause. Boom. So for the interior, you're gonna have a 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation and map care. That's a nice standard feature, guys. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, rear view camera, which is pretty good resolution, smart key, push to start, Syntex seating materials, but they may fool quite a lot of you guys. These seats feel very close to leather. They smell very close to leather. Really comfortable seats, and they feel very, very high quality. The front seats, unfortunately, are not power for the driver or the front passenger, which is unfortunate. I definitely wish they gave us power seats. But the back seat for the second row to get into the third, you just press a button and that seat slides forward for you. But you guys can pause, see everything that we got offered here. Yeah, we do get the $210 carpeted floor mats, and the total price comes out to exactly 35,000 bucks. After destination, you're gonna be sitting around 36,225. So really good overall bargain for a $25,000 SUV before destination. Let's continue along over here. You can check out, you do get a push to open gas tank. No easy fill, unfortunately, but it's still nice they gave you the push to open. So if you forget to pull the latch, you're not screwed. We're gonna have an incandescent taillight over here for the higher trims. We are gonna have LEDs with your reverse light over here. All-wheel drive nameplate right here. Very large Telluride nameplate with your all-new Kia badge right there. But let's take a step back. You also do get parking sensors on the bumper. But one more step back, you can check out the rear styling. And let's start this 2022 Telluride LX up and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, so that was, of course, the sound of the 3.8 liter direct injection V6 sold by Kia for the Telluride. And let's pop this hood. It's nice to get struts even for this base LX trim. But there you have it. Here's your 3.8 liter V6. It's going to make 291 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque. The 0 to 60 with this 4,100 pound SUV, mated with this 8-speed transmission, will be around 6.7, 6.9 seconds. Very quick for the segment this vehicle is in, considering most vehicles in this segment are going to have a turbo 4-cylinder, if it even comes with a turbo, and a CVT transmission. But one thing I don't like how the intake is towards the back of the engine. It's only going to be promoting hot air, but I do like how they gave you a little bit of a tunnel, so you do get some cool air sucked in through here. But other than that, pretty straightforward. As you mentioned in the S video, you are going to have a cross brace over here between the strut towers, which will aid in handling, and this vehicle does handle remarkably well. But that's about it here. Let's shut this thing up, take a step back. You guys can check out those daytime running strips, and they look really, really good. But that's about it, guys. Let's take a step over here and check out the interior. So stepping inside the 2022 Telluride LX, it's surprising, but it's very welcome that we're gonna have some very soft materials for the upper part of the door panel for where your arm will often rest. Really welcome for a vehicle that's gonna be sitting around $34,500 for a base price. Down here, you're gonna have some faux metal woodish materials. It has graining on it. I'm not quite sure what this material is, but I do like it. Beneath that, you're gonna have some chrome trim matched with an aluminum door handle, really high quality. A little bit of hard plastic over here. Very large storage over here, very impressive. It is rubberized, so you're not going to worry about your stuff flying around. And a very soft armrest, very nice place to rest your arm. You got child locks over here. Power one touch for up and down for all 4 windows. Really impressive for a vehicle in the segment. You have your lock controls and your 4-way mirrors right here. But down here, you're gonna have some very impressive storage. You can probably fit a couple sandwiches in here and a 12-ounce bottle right there. But stepping inside, no Kia nameplate. As far as the seats, I'm a big fan of these Syntax seats. Really comfortable, really supportive. Definitely a thumbs up in terms of comfort and quality. Really impressive seats. Only complaint I have is, why are they not power seats? For an extra $1,700 on the S trim, they come with power seats, and I feel like this vehicle should also come with them. I understand that the heated seats, we don't need the heated seats. We can get rid of those for the base model, but the power seats would be nice. But let's take a step inside and see what we really got to offer. So let's turn this air down so you guys can hear a little bit. So the first thing you notice here is going to be the steering wheel. It's fantastic, just like the S trim that we reviewed. It's going to be a great leather wrap steering wheel, perfect 9 and 3 slots for your hands, great 10 and 2 bolstering. It's going to be pretty thick overall too. If you don't want to be driving with your hands on top of the steering wheel over here, you want to drive recklessly with your arm on your lap, the steering wheel will also accommodate this. If you want to have your arm on the armrest, you want to grab onto this little notch over here. Same with your other arm. You want to have your arm on the armrest, grab onto this notch right here. It's accommodating. This is a great steering wheel. It's going to keep you comfortable no matter how you like to drive. But as far as the turn signals, they're going to be also pretty high quality turn signals, not quite as high quality as the Stinger GT and the K5 GT and the K5 GT line that we reviewed on this channel. But they're still very nice turn signals. As far as steering wheel controls, you're gonna have your voice commands up here. You're gonna have your mode select. You got your volume adjustment. You got your tuning adjustment, and you got your phone settings right here. To the right, this is how you're gonna be adjusting your infotainment screen. You're gonna have your radar cruise control, and you can go up and down based on your infotainment depending on which screen you're in. We already went through all that on the S trim. It's gonna be the exact same here, so we're not gonna go into that too much in detail, but I'm just gonna show you guys where all the buttons are and what they do. Here you can cancel. Over here in the middle, you're gonna have your horn with your new Kia badge. It looks like it's stitched, but it's not really stitched. It's just gonna be a hard plastic material. But as far as the horn, not the most aggressive, but it's aggressive enough. It's gonna do the job. Back over here to the left, you're gonna have your blind spot monitoring, which you can turn off if you would like to for some reason. You can adjust the brightness of your interior, you can turn off your lane keep assist, and you can turn off your traction control. Up top, you're gonna have a soft touch dashboard. It's also stitched, really soft, really high quality, very impressive overall. But this is the most impressive part of the vehicle. It's gonna be this 10.25-inch touchscreen standard on the LX trim for the Telluride. So you're gonna have your map right here, also standard. You're gonna have your navigation screen, and it's super responsive, guys. One of the best screens in the business, really. And the fact they gave it to you standard, it's just even more impressive. You got your passenger talk. We demonstrated that in the previous video with the S trim. We're not gonna go into all these details. I just want to show you guys everything this vehicle has to offer. Your setup settings right here that allows you to adjust things like the vehicle. As far as vehicle settings, let's see what we can adjust. So you can do your drive mode, so you can have your climate too. So as far as drive mode change alert, you can turn it off if you'd like to, but that's about all the vehicle settings that you can adjust. You have your navigation settings, sound settings. You can make the bass louder or higher if that's how you like to listen to music, and you get your general settings. Let's see what we have for the general settings. So this is all just software information. We're not going to go into any of that. You can change the language of the keyboard and all that, but let's get out of here. You can see what we have on this screen. We're going to have media, sounds of nature, UVO, notifications, and your user manual. But let's go back to the home screen. I'll probably keep it in the map. That's probably my favorite screen to just look at all times. Down here, you got your vents. Surrounding the vents is going to be this really nice trim, same as like the door handle area. It's going to be like textured. It's not going to be a consistent plastic material, but it looks almost like aluminum chrome. Not sure what it is, but I do like the material. And below your air vents right here, you're going to have some smoke chrome. Looks really good. The dials are all really nice to turn. They feel really good. And if you don't want to go through the touchscreen, you can have your buttons right here, so you can switch between map, nav, radio, media. You got your hazards. You can turn and switch to songs, favorites, and setup. And still, all the dials here for the air settings too, super high quality. You got auto climate. You can adjust the vents right here. But coming down here, you're not going to have a wireless charger for the storage area like you would on the S trim. But over here, you still got your 12 volt right here, and you got two USBs right over here. But we'll shut that. Over here, you got two sets of holy crab handles in case someone's driving like a maniac. Not sure why the driver would need one, but they did give you one nevertheless. It would be nice if it was soft touch padded, so when your knee hits against it, you don't hit against hard plastic, but really not a big deal at all. As far as this shifter, you're not gonna have a leather wrap shifter like you would on the S trim either. Also not a really big deal. So far, the only thing that I don't like about this versus the S trim is the fact that we don't get power seats. I would probably go with the S trim simply for the power seats, but if that's not something you care about, once you adjust the seats one time, you're gonna leave it there for the rest of the car's existence. I guess that's definitely a feature that you can forego. But we put this thing into reverse. Check out the reverse camera. Really high resolution, just like the S trim. Not the most high resolution, but these guidance markers work really well, and it shows you everything that you would need to see. You got your parking sensors right here as well. We can throw it into drive, push it to the left. This is how you have your manual settings. So to downshift, you pull back. To upshift, you push forward. That's not the correct way, but it still does the job nevertheless. Throw it back into park. Back here, you got your drive mode select. You got comfort, sport, smart, eco, and snow. We're gonna start the review in comfort and then try out sport, see what the differences are. And right here in the middle, you can lock your four-wheel drive system to be permanently in four-wheel drive. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it in auto. We're gonna have the best fuel economy possible that way. Right here, you can turn off your auto start stop, which we will do for the purpose of this review. Auto hold, so you don't have to hold your foot on the brake when you're at red lights. Electronic parking brake, and you can turn off your parking sensors right here if you would like to. Move this out of the way. You got your square cup holders. I've never seen square cups, but I guess Kia has, so we got square cup holders. A little bit of storage over here. Nice to put your keys and some coins and whatnot. But as far as the center console, this is going to be one of the most impressive parts of this vehicle as well. I usually measure my consoles between like 6 or 8 packs or 12 packs, depending on how many cans you'll be able to fit. But check this out. This is way past that. You could probably fit a bowling ball and like 4 water bottles around it. Like, this is really, really spacious for a center console. You have an additional cubby right here, and even this cubby, it's very large. You could probably fit at least like 150 pens in there. It's a really large storage cubby. We can shut this thing up. The console itself, really nice leather. I like the padding. It feels very nice to rest your elbow on. But let's check out this glove box real quick. It's not gonna be lined with felt like we had on the S trim. It's gonna be pretty large. I'd say around 10, 15, no, I'd say 10 to 12 license plates will be your max. Pretty spacious glove box. Up top, you're not gonna have an auto dimming rear view mirror. Not really expected since we didn't get one on the S trim, so we're definitely not gonna get one on the LX trim, but it still does the job. It's very well zoomed. I can see the rear windshield very easily. You do get a sunglass holder back here. No sunroof, unfortunately, but that is an option. But that's about it for the front seat, guys. Really impressive front seat so far. Definitely a thumbs up for Kia. Let's check out the back seat, see how much space we got back there, and the overall quality of the materials. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat on the 2022 Kia Telluride LX. So up top, you're not gonna have any soft touch materials for the upper part of the door panel. Not expected. Beneath that, you're still gonna have that really nice plasticky aluminum trim. It looks really nice. Chrome, smoke chrome right here, integrates with your aluminum door handle really nicely. As far as the armrest, very comfortable, very soft leather, or fake leather syntax. Feels really good though. The storage, really massive. Rubberized tray, so the stuff's not gonna be flying around. Power one touch window, very luxurious to have, especially for a base model trim. Down here, you are gonna be able to fit a 12-ounce bottle right here. There's a little bit of a cutout for it, and not the most space on the outside, but I'm sure you could fit a sandwich on the outside. As far as the seats, same material, not gonna be quite as bolstered. Nice faux leather syntax material, very soft, smells and feels really good. But let's take a step inside this Telluride and see how much space we got. And wow, so I'm 6 feet tall sitting behind my seat settings. I can lounge back here really comfortably. There's basically infinite legroom back here. I feel like I'm in a true luxury vehicle. I got, I'd say, at least like 7-8 inches of legroom until my knees will start to touch. So definitely a thumbs up to Kia for making this vehicle such a spacious, such a practical, great overall value. But you get mat pockets behind both seats. You also get USBs on both seats. I haven't seen many vehicles that put their USBs over here. You get a couple cup holders right here. They're also gonna be square. Not quite sure why, but whatever, guys. Over here, you got a center console because this vehicle does not have captain's chairs. The S trim that we reviewed had captain's chairs, so we didn't have this little armrest. It does have a string. Let's check it out. You're gonna have 2 cup holders. They're not gonna be rubberized, but still pretty large. Very soft armrest overall, so definitely nice for your elbows. But we can shut this thing up. As far as the air vents, they're gonna be right here. You got your auto climate right here, so full 3rd zone climate with the air vents blowing right in your face. Perfect spot for them, really impressive. Overall, super spacious, super luxurious back here. Huge thumbs up to Kia. Let's check out the 3rd row and see how much space is offered back there. All right, guys, so to get into the 3rd row, it's nice that Kia gave us this button that makes the seat slide forward and fold down, giving me a really decent amount of space to enter this 3rd row. So stepping in here, very easy process, one of the most easy processes I've felt in most modern vehicles, but here you have it. So I got plenty of space. No, these seats aren't in the farthest back setting right now, but in this setting, the people up front still have plenty of legroom. We'll sit behind here because this seat is in the farthest back setting and see what the differences are. So even back here, I still have about 1 inch of legroom before they would start to touch. Really impressive back here. You can comfortably fit 7 people in this vehicle. In an emergency, you can fit an 8th person too. Now this guy might feel a little bit uncomfortable being cramped shoulder to shoulder with 2 people in the 3rd row. But if it's a small child, it's more than doable. Really impressive 3rd row, really impressive SUV so far. Let's just check out the trunk real quick and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, so to open this trunk, you simply pull this little button right here. It's not gonna be a power opening trunk, but it is nice that we get these hydraulic struts. And first thing I noticed, I mentioned it in the S review that we did, you're not gonna have that little cover over here. You may have it actually back here. No, you're not. So they actually took it off for you. I said that if I had this vehicle, that would be the first thing that I did. Take off this little hatch cover so I had a little bit of a indent to put groceries in so they're not sliding around all over the trunk. So this vehicle already has it done. Definitely impressive. I would do it too. To fold these seats down, you pull this latch right here and then let it just fall forward. And there you have it. Do the same thing right here. Pull it forward and just let it fall. Bang. So there you go. Really impressive storage back here. You fold those rear seats down, you're gonna probably be able to fit an 85-inch TV back here. Really large cargo space, really large opening. Look at this, like they really took advantage of every single inch that they could have used for this opening. These guys really knocked it out of the park. And as far as step-in height, if you got smaller pets, you got older pets, check it out. I'm 6 feet tall. My knee is basically at the level of the step-in height. Really impressive, huge thumbs up. Let's shut this trunk real quick, take a step back, and let's take this 2022 Telluride LX out for a drive. All right, guys, now we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the 2022 Kia Telluride LX. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I noticed in comfort mode, at least, is the steering is really light, but also really direct. You don't feel much play at all. Like as soon as you start turning this wheel, you're gonna be getting a response from the tires. And that's definitely something that I like. I know a lot of people like play, like if you're an old-time truck driver, you're kind of used to it. So you actually may feel a little uncomfortable from a steering this direct, but I personally really like direct steering, so definitely a thumbs up to Kia. as soon as we got a little bit of open road, we'll step onto this little highway and see how this car can accelerate before we get onto a little twisty road and really see how this thing can handle. But I'll catch back with you guys in 1 second. But all right, stepping out onto this road right over here, we're gonna be calm and then lean into it right here, half throttle. Ooh, okay, really strong acceleration, surprisingly strong. Only half throttle, and it goes to about 5,000 RPM, and it is very strong. Definitely a peppy motor, and we're still just in comfort mode. I can only imagine how much sharper it'll feel overall once we throw it into sport. But we're gonna turn left over here. As soon as this light turns green, we're gonna hop over a couple railroad tracks. All right, so we're approaching a set of railroad tracks right here. It'll be a good opportunity to see how this car can ride and overall deaden sound with these 18-inch rims. So, wow. So when we did the review of the S trim, I noticed when we drove over those railroad tracks, the car made basically zero noise. You barely felt anything. And that's even more apparent with this vehicle because you have thicker sidewall tires. The handling, it's not quite as direct and sharp as it was. So that's gonna be the trade-off. You're gonna have better ride quality here. It's gonna be a little bit quieter too. But the handling and steering, it's still gonna be super sharp. If I drove this car first, I promise you, I would have been going crazy about how well it handles. But I didn't, I drove the S first. So the S definitely had a better handling when it came to just cornering and cornering ability. But this car has a softer ride and it is quieter on the inside. So it depends on what your priorities are. If you wanna spend a couple grand less, you wanna have a quieter ride, you wanna have a softer ride, then it's a no-brainer. This is definitely the choice for you. I just wish they added the power seats, and then it would be a no-brainer for me too. It's just the power seats are making it really tough to justify not spending an extra $1,600 on just going with the S trim. But this trim overall, if I just forgot about those manual seats, I would think this is probably the greatest vehicle that you could buy for the money. But I do truly think that spending the $1,700 on the S trim, it's a worthy upgrade. But as soon as we get the chance, we're gonna get into a full stop and check out how this car can accelerate off the line. But just driving around right now, cruising about the speed limit, the car is really quiet on the inside. You don't feel or hear any bumps. You don't really hear any wind noise, road noise. You throw it through these turns right here. The brakes feel great. The steering is so sharp. It just doesn't feel quite as perfect as it did with those 20-inch rims on 245s, but it still feels really, really good. As compared to most vehicles in the segment, this is a noticeable improvement. Barely slowing down here, throwing it in, super sharp, zero body roll. They really killed it with like the stiffness of the chassis without feeling like a stiff ride, because the ride is still beyond smooth while still having very capable handling. But taking a step out onto this road, we'll lean into the gas about halfway. Woo! Very strong, guys. Really strong. And leaning into it, woo! Yeah, you do got some power. It's not the most torquey down low, but throwing it in right here, wow. It's really, really nice. Big fan of this car overall. But we're gonna turn around right here. I'll throw on the hat so you guys can get a POV angle of this car. But I'll catch back with you guys in 1 second. All right, guys, back out here. We'll throw it into sport now and actually test out these manual modes. Again, no paddle shifters here, but starting off in first gear, let's go. Wow, really strong. Wow, pretty responsive too. No, actually not that responsive. I think it automatically shifted me into second. So there's definitely a delay, about a second delay, but all right, we got a good opportunity to try an acceleration off the line. We'll slam on the brakes right here, come to a complete stop, throw it back into regular drive mode, and just boom, mashing on the gas. Wow, really strong, guys. You get to speed really quickly, and those gear shifts shift you really quickly. We got a sharp turn coming up. You can check it out on the brakes. Brakes feel great. Turning it in sport, the steering feels a lot better. And coming out, whew, guys, this thing can move. Once you get to the higher RPMs, you got a serious pull. Hopefully this officer is not upset with me. Throwing it in, really nice, guys. Definitely a thumbs up to Kia. They really knocked it out of the park. This is a very, very nice driving SUV. It's smooth, it's luxurious, and it's got the performance to back it up while still keeping the price tag relatively friendly compared to most vehicles in the competition. I'm really impressed with this car. One thing about sport, yes, the transmission gets a lot more aggressive. See how we're just cruising around 2,400 RPM? That's not really necessary. For that reason, I would just do my daily driving in comfort mode, especially given the fact that the steering doesn't really tighten up that much in sport. So for daily driving, I'd probably recommend comfort mode. It's more than sporty enough. it's more than comfortable enough. Probably my favorite mode overall. Sport definitely makes the steering a little bit better. If you can do like a personal mode where you can turn the steering into sport, I would do that. But if you can't, I would just leave the car permanently in comfort. But all right, stepping out onto this highway, we'll lean into it pretty hard over here. Wow, it gets to these speeds really, really well. And now that we can open her up on the highway, you can really see, whew, this thing is definitely no slouch. Very impressive overall. But all in all, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Huge thanks to Regal Kia for making this review possible. Kia in general really knocked this vehicle out of the park. This might be one of their most impressive vehicles to date, not including the Stingers, of course. In terms of like potential sales, this vehicle should sell really, really well, and it has been doing so really well. The car drives great, it handles great, it looks pretty good in my opinion. It has all the space in the world you can want from a mid-size SUV. But other than that, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, join the WTF family. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You know, I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel is just not possible without you guys. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people now. Leave a comment too, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Give me some ideas on some cars you would like to see reviewed on this channel. I always appreciate reading comments like those. They help me get ideas for new videos, and I'll try to get those reviews for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, I had a great time making this video, and I hope you all have a great day.